Good afternoon and welcome to my daily vlog for Thursday the 10th of July. Hope everybody is well, enjoying the sunshine. I'm going to start today, just talk very briefly about the actual CX app. Back at the start of the year I got an email from CX asking if I would like to trial the new app. So yep, I'll have a go at that. And they just sent a link and I just downloaded it. I didn't like it at all at the start, didn't get on with it at all, wasn't helped by the fact that it was crashing, and there was a couple of features on it that you couldn't access. So for example, the who's nearby feature, which I think can be quite important if you're well away from home, that wasn't actually working. So I tended in the end just to use it for the first job of the day, and once that was cleared I reverted back to the original app. However, a few months later I decided to persevere a little bit more and the changes had been made. Now I'm not going to put any pictures up of it, that's not for me to do. There's a couple of things I do like and a couple of things I don't like. The things I do like, if you're, so we put it, when the feed is up, if you're one of those that likes to delete jobs that are not applicable or save jobs that might interest you, at the moment you swipe to the left and then press the dustbin to delete, and swipe to the left and press the little icon for saving. With the new app you don't do that. You swipe left and it deletes automatically, and you swipe to the right and it saves automatically. So it literally saves you about half a second, but you know, if you're flicking through the feed, I think that's an advantage. The other thing, if it's a good thing, I don't really know. When you enter the amount of items that you've got, it now has a drop-down box. So you actually enter then pallets, UK pallets, Euro pallets, packages, crates, stillages, etc., etc. The only thing it seems to be missing on that is boxes, which is rather strange because boxes are probably the thing we pick up the most. But I'm sure that may get amended when it's rolled out fully. Two things I don't like with it: when you on your way to collection, you get an option of a map. You click the button, then you get a choice of Apple Maps or Google Maps. Now I use Google Maps all the time and I find it works. I find it very good. On 3 occasions the Google Maps through the CX app has taken me to the wrong place. The first time, to be fair, the building I wanted was the other side of a brick wall on a housing estate, so it was fairly easy to rectify and fairly easily understood why I was sent where I was sent. But the other 2 times, once I was sent 4 miles from where I should have been, and the other time it was 6 miles from where I should have been. No real obvious reason why. I can only guess it must be something to do with the information that's entered by the shipper, and that is a guess and nothing else. As soon as I actually put the address in Google Maps itself, it took me to exactly the right place. So I'm avoiding that now, and just whenever I need to look at an address, I just enter the Google Maps, go to the Google Maps app and enter the address as you normally do. The other thing I don't like, on the normal app, call it the normal app, if you need to print off an invoice, so for example, any of you do work for City Vans, they're one of the companies where you have to send them the invoice along with the POD. So with the old app, you used to create the invoice, you could download it and it appeared on your screen, and you took a screenshot, cropped it to the right size, printed it off at home, popped it in an envelope, job done. With the new app, you don't see the invoice. You create and download, but it doesn't appear. It may be me doing something wrong, I'm not sure, but you don't get it. So you have to then log into the old app to print it, or go onto your laptop at home and do it that way through the Courier dashboard. I'm sure these little things will be ironed out, but it's just to give you a little guide as to what's happening with it anyway, and what the good and the bad bits are. Anyway, on to today, that's what you're more interested about. Thursday the 10th of July, and a strange day today. I can't make out if it was a good day, a bad day, or an average day. Looking for a job last night, there wasn't much about, seemed a little bit quiet, but then a job did appear from Colchester for 9 o'clock collection, with a note saying that the factory didn't open till 9 o'clock, so don't get there any earlier. It was a small van job. It was going to just south of Courier in West Sussex. You were going to deliver there and then pick up some stuff to take to London Southeast 1. It was a total of 130 miles, so I just went with £1 a mile plus me £20 for a London delivery. It wasn't in the congestion charge zone, and it did say that on the job notes. So I bid £150 and I got that job. When they actually rang me with a job, there was a slight change that they said once you've delivered and collected in or south of Courier, we've got 4 boxes that need picking up in Courier for delivery in Bromley on the way through to Southeast 1. Normal shipper saying, oh, it's only a few miles off route. Well, it wasn't too bad, but we agreed at an extra £30. And the job went really, really well today, to be fair. I got there at 8:45 and I actually followed into the car park the lady who opened up the factory, and it was all audio-visual equipment in handled cases. So I got them on, no issue there, and I was away literally just on about 9 o'clock. A couple of hours down to south of Courier. And again, straightforward offload, and people ask me, can you just drive up 5 yards to the goods out and they'll load you up with the stuff you're taking, which happened. I then went to Courier to pick up these 4 boxes that I'd been asked to do, and the instructions were to ring the lady 10 minutes away. And then when I pulled up, which I did, pulled up outside her house, she's standing there. We took the boxes out of her car, put them on the van. She very kindly asked if I wanted to use the toilet or if I'd like a drink, but 30 years ago I probably would have said yes. These days I'm not going to put myself in any situations I can't get myself out of and cause myself an issue, so I politely declined and thanked her very much and went on my way. Got those boxes delivered to a supermarket in Bromley, very straightforward again, and then finished the last delivery into SC1. I guessed it was going to be around the Old Kent Road area, and when I saw the address it was a Muse, but I pretty much thought I knew where it was, and for my taxi days, and I was spot on, so that was really, really straightforward as well. And there was some guys sitting out in chairs enjoying the sunshine, and they got me unloaded straight away. So looking for that second job, I wasn't going to hang around SC1. I really wanted to get out there because it's nearly 2 o'clock and the rush hour starts. So I made my way out. There were some traffic issues in Deptford, so I had to go around the back a little bit, use my knowledge and get through the back bits of Rotherhithe, and then down through Greenwich, and going out through the Silvertown tunnel into East London. And again, the traffic's building up with the rush hour already at 2 o'clock, 2:15. And then there was a job came up, which I did on Tuesday. And it was a pick-up in Colchester going to Ipswich, a long wheelbase job, 3 pallets from a fulfilment centre going to a parcel carrier. When I quoted on that Tuesday, I quoted £60, and they rang me up and said there's handball at the end, so we'll pay you 70. And it was a lot of handball. It was probably about 100 boxes and packages, and you had to break down all the shrink wrapping around the pallets and get rid of the pallets at the end, so it was a little bit of work. So I thought when I bid on this, I'm going to bid 80 quid, and I put in the notes that I did the job for 70 on Tuesday, but there was an awful lot of handballing, so I'm going to ask for an extra tenner. And lo and behold, I didn't get the job. So, and it was a 2-van job, so there was 2 jobs going, I didn't get either. Which is slightly interesting because we hear from shippers so often about how important feedback is. It's not always the lowest price, and it's not always the highest price, it's somewhere in the middle, and feedback's important, but 100% feedback in my time, and no, obviously this case it was the cheapest job. But I know for future it's going to have to be £70 or nothing. So I didn't get that job. Made my way to Dagenham, parked up for 20 minutes, half hour, absolutely nothing that suited. Lots of jobs going back into central London, no interest. There was a job from I left and started to make my way home down the A13 towards Grays, Basildon, and then up towards Chelmsford, see if anything comes up. There was a nice job from Grays going to Hemel Hempstead, small van job, which ideally I would have liked 60 quid on. You wouldn't get 60 quid, and if it was only going to be a £50 job, not really worth it for me. By the time I go around the top of the M25 and then have to come back to junction 27, it's not worth doing. And there was probably going to be couriers around the Grays, Tilbury area that were heading back towards the M1 that would probably do that for 30 quid. It was a hospital job from Westcliff to Colchester, but I've explained before, no interest in really doing hospital jobs. And there was some alcohol jobs out of Grays going all points, north, west, south and east, but I don't do alcohol jobs. So I've called it a day, making my way home now. I'm going to be indoors for 4:30, 4:45, so a little walk down to the beach and a cup of tea in the sunshine, I think, for me. One job, £180, but that's where I say it's inside my target. So is that a good day, a bad day, an average day? I don't know. Anyway, hope you've had a good day yourselves. Nothing for tomorrow at the moment, but we'll have a go and I'll be in touch tomorrow. All the best. Cheers. Paul.